Hello Twin Flames, this is Victoria and I'm here with your daily energy check. Today we're going to do a Divine Masculine check-in. This is one of my special editions where we'll find out what is happening for DMs in their 5D space with their energy, and also what kind of action are they taking at this time. And I will specifically emphasize the action rather than just what is happening in 3D in the karmic space. And of course we'll get some messages from Divine Masculines to Feminines for cross-watchers. And I will start with an Oracle deck, and I actually will start with a card for Divine Feminines watching. And then we'll switch entirely to Divine Masculine's energy. Thank you guys for joining me today, for supporting my channel with your likes, with your comments, for those who do. For those who don't, please don't forget to do that. If you want me to keep coming up here and doing these readings on a daily basis or almost daily basis, it's really important for me to have that support, to see my channel growing, to see that this actually is of interest to you. It makes sense that I'm being of service, and at this time that I'm using to prepare for these readings and to do the readings is actually worthwhile. So yeah, let me know, and of course leave me some comments on what you feel, what you'd like to see more of, you know, maybe new formats of readings you're interested in. Let me know about those. Okay, so a card for Divine Feminines first of all. And another announcement, quick announcement while I'm shuffling, since this is the end of the month, coming up quickly, and we're almost in June, time flies. I will be recording my June forecasts. I will start posting it, well, I plan to post it between May 29th and May 31st, so that by the beginning of the month, finally, I'll be back on track with the schedule where by the end of the month you'll have forecasts for the upcoming months, which makes sense, of course. I'll be relaxing in Vegas during this time, and of course relaxing in my case means that I'll be out and about doing things. I also need to catch up on my fitness routine. I'll continue learning certain dance techniques in preparation for my show in June. But anyway, it's not gonna be as busy as it would be if I were actually home. So that's good news for the readings, for recording those. And I will actually have a couple of days where like I would have like actual days off, because there's Memorial Day coming up. The next day is I'm taking it for a tour to the Grand Canyon. So yeah, it's gonna be less hectic for me in general. Like I want to have some downtime properly. Okay, so for the feminines we have great adventure. Take a risk, venture forward. Yeah, so adventures are coming up for you, Divine Feminine. Buckle up, brace yourselves, save your energy. I'm actually taking it in for myself, just talking about all the hectic lifestyle, you know, and needing to have this downtime, especially after my crystal dig in Nevada. Yeah, it's just like you have to make the time. And you know what, when I get back home to New York area, I know there will be a million things waiting for me, but I'm also going to tackle them little by little, not to overwhelm myself too much. And I get that this adventure that they're talking about is actually more, it's going to be more of an internal journey, which of course still takes a lot of energy. And yeah, by the way, a big thought of the day, that inner work, emotional overwhelm, it takes as much of you as the actual physical work. I know it's not going to feel the same in your body, like with your muscles, you know, but essentially it's taken a lot of your energy. So take care of yourself during this time. Don't think like, okay, I didn't really do anything today. No, if you were going through something, if you or getting new downloads that you're processing, you're integrating, you're revisiting based on your experience. This is taking a lot. So make sure that you are following your nutrition, your sleep cycle, your resting routine vigorously during this time. And now let's see what's coming up for Divine Masculines. So actually, what is relevant right now for Divine Masculines? What do we need to know for the collective of Divine Masculines watching, and for cross watchers, of course? Whoa, that was a lot. That was a lot. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna shuffle some more, but the first message that I'm getting immediately is that there's so much going on in DM's lives right now. It's hard to put it in one card. That's why I had like a dozen of cards fall out. So it's also important to be able to streamline, to be able to prioritize, to be able to say, like, out of these 10 things going my way, that life is throwing at me, I'm gonna deal with this 2. And then, in a couple of days, I'm gonna deal with those 3. Something like that, right? So that you actually understand. And this helps you consciously understand why you prioritize certain things, or which of those have the higher priority. Because when they keep coming at you like baseballs in a batting cage, it's just like, it's too fast. It's you don't get that momentum. You don't have that time to figure out, right? Like, it feels like you are in that action movie where you have to handle things, in a battle, otherwise you're gonna be beaten down to the ground, right? So we get that sense of it, like, okay, I have to deal with all of this, which is an illusion, really. Okay, got fogged in. Oh my god, it's another ship. Oh, it's so cool. We had great adventure for the feminine, so we have fogged in for the masculines. This one is go slow, take time. See, synchronicities again. Beautiful. And actually, I was just talking even before the card fell out, and it was kind of this message of like, don't try to deal with everything all at once, right? Like, take your time and prioritize, right? And take it one day at a time. That's another angle to it, right? Like, the problem may seem overwhelming, but doesn't mean that you have to solve it all in one day, right? You will get more information as the time passes. So it's important to act on those cues that you get, with your intuitive guidance, with actual events that are happening, right? Like, see what's relevant to be done, what needs to be done right now. And don't let your monkey mind go into like, 10 steps forward and trying to figure out what is the best move or how it's gonna play out. It happens to all of us. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, there's nothing unusual about it, but the more conscious you are about these things, the more you can put your mind at ease, and the easier it gets. Okay, I'm going to use the Dreamlight Tarot for the 5D space of Divine Masculines. Let's see what's happening with their energy at this time. I don't have a table today. I have this beautiful setting, but I don't have a table, so I'm ready to be chasing cards on the ground if necessary. 7 of Cups. Anything else? Wow, 4 of Wands. And 5 of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, 9 of Pentacles. Yeah, so DMs are tackling this new reality of, so this was on the bottom of the deck, this new reality of what is their persona like, who they are for themselves and in the world, who they want to be still. And this whole concept for masculines, we're mostly talking about men, but it's relevant for the masculine energy in general, like to try to figure out who I am in this world. You know, have I accomplished enough to, like, is it time for me, or can I, am I in that mature position where I can start a family and be responsible for other people in my life, apart from, of course, family and friends who could be already in their life, like parents, siblings, right? This is about like my own family. Getting married, having kids. This is the classic example, but you know, could be another version of it, but still. So first, what comes to DMs is their own persona. They need to feel confident. They need to stand on the ground with their both feet. And so what it means essentially is they figure out this is who they are, what they want to do in the world, right? With so many options around and with so many things that they've already tried in this life, and they've succeeded in a lot of them. That's why there are so many options, right? Because it's like, wow, there's actually so much around that I could be doing. So what is it that I want to do? Then the second concept is about relationship with someone else, a committed relationship, not like what they were doing in the younger days, you know, in their youth, when it was like, yeah, it could be a couple of dates, it could be a one-night stand, it could be something. Ooh, let's just have fun, right? Now it's like, I want more with this person. I want us to give each other more, right? Like, I want to do more things, right? If before it was more around physicality, the looks, the physical relationship, a lot was there, right? And there was a lot of drama. Now it's like, okay, I'm wiser myself, right? And I want somebody who will be standing by my side, who will be that life partner in all levels of its meaning, and I will be a partner for them, right? What does it mean? And then, so it's like recalibrating that energy. What is it actually? And then finally, it's this paradox of being by yourself but not being alone, if you know what I mean. It's finding, like we saw with this card, right? It's finding this place where they are themselves before they're actually ready to go out there and start this committed relationship with a feminine, whether it's their divine feminine or soulmate or karmic, or you know, the next somebody they will be ready for, right? It's like right now they understand they need to figure out, they feel that they need to figure things out for themselves. And on the one hand, they feel like it's a wise thing to do. On the other hand, it brings up a lot of triggers that start with loneliness and self-doubt, and go into like, is it even worth it? Maybe it would be easier to do what my friends are doing, you know, just pick somebody like based on certain traits, something that looks good on paper, right? Somebody that sounds like a good idea, right? And that will be so much easier. And I'm already doing a lot of things with my life, so maybe that's enough too, right? Like there is this paradox that they are also solving for themselves, because those triggers are being brought up because of the insecurities, because of the pain that they faced before, because of actually how much it's bringing up to the surface while they're doing all this work, while this energetic recalibration is happening. All these processes from quantum physics are taking place, right? It could be painful, right? When these paradigms, these templates are changing on you, when you see the gaps, right? Or see like what has happened to you, right? And what is the healthy version of it would be. When we see that gap, it brings certain heartache, yeah, for sure. Whether it's because it was caused by somebody else or it was our own choices, that is actually secondary. But because we see that, or we see this could have been this way, this could have played out that way, but it actually happened this way, right? Like worse than it could have been. Then again it's triggering us. So that's all that is happening in the energetic field. But I'm also getting that a lot of it's going to be happening with downloads during the sleep, that more of a subconscious level. So you may not, sometimes you may feel like you're thrown off emotionally, but you may not necessarily understand why. That's why. Right? Again, I started this reading with explaining how important it is when you're doing this kind of activity and you're conscious, at least to a certain extent, that this is happening to you, that you're revisiting your whole life pretty much. It's important to take it easy on yourself and to pay attention to your health and wellness routines so that you keep up with it as if you were doing like a full-on physical job. Because for some reason a lot of us still have that stereotype that if it's manual work, a lot of hours in a day, then it's like real work where you need to recover after it. If we're doing something more intellectual or connected with emotional or energetic space, somehow it may not considered as exhausting, but it actually is. And especially for light workers, because we are in that the veil is so thin and we are already like predisposed to giving out our energy. Okay, I've got a lot of cards falling for the action. Let's see what we see here. I thought there were more cards. So I'm just gonna check quickly. Maybe it was my imagination. Okay, but I see the tower. Oh yeah, actually there is more. The tower is on the bottom of the deck. So I've already spoken about this. Those energetic changes that DMs are facing are essentially resulting in, because this touches core aspects of their life, it results in tower moments around, and I was just talking about that gap, remember? Essentially that is a tower moment, when we see that visual thinking versus the reality, the harsh reality in the case of the tower, right? And then it's a major arcana, so basically the divine, the universe, the higher power is taking this something that doesn't serve you anymore, or something that was painful, something that is a burden, is taking it away from your life. The actions are, so we have King of Pentacles, Seven of Wands, and King of Cups, two kings, look at that. And Seven of Wands, which is about standing up for yourself. So we have 3 out of 4 suits here. Suits. And look at the king energy. So the masculine is stepping into this more mature and thoughtful person, right? So we have like the Pentacles and the Cups, the combination, right, of being emotionally intelligent and making smart moves in your life. And we were just talking about, what am I doing with my life, right? Like, what does success mean? What do I want to put my energy and focus on in terms of occupation, how I'm earning a living, right? So that's your King of Pentacles. And also it will include how I'm building my family life. That's also King of Pentacles. Actually, both of these guys, right? Because this will talk about being emotionally available and not necessarily throwing whatever you're feeling in the moment at your partner, right? Like those themes. But also this King of Pentacles is more about like tangible material world, right? What it would mean, what will our home be like, I don't know, even interior design maybe, right? Like what would it mean for us to, like, what would cooking be like, for example? What would our weekends be like, our vacations be like, right? Like that's more of a King of Pentacles space. And then we have Seven of Wands, which is more about standing up for what you feel is right, what your where your desires are, without feeling guilty or feeling like you have to explain, or feeling like you have to follow some sort of standards or templates that are coming from people that you recognize as authority, right? Like this is, because this is the keen energy, this is like divine masculines realizing at this time that they are the authority for their life, right? Like they are at that stage of life experience, of knowledge, of wisdom, where they don't need other authority figures, not among people anyway, right? You can always have good friends, even mentors, but without like blindly following them. And sometimes that following happens subconsciously too. And it's important to recognize that and to be able to say, even to stand up to yourself in that moment and say, you know what, I'm gonna do what is right for me, even if it doesn't look as cool, or even if my certain friend that I have a lot of respect for doesn't approve of it, right? I'm still gonna do it because it feels right to me. Okay, this actually ended up to be pretty long reading, but that's what we needed, I guess. Let's get some messages from divine masculines, divine feminines. What's on their heart and mind right now? What would they like to share with their feminine at the moment? So we see a lot of those cards that I put out was about preparing for a true union, a true relationship that will not be something that, you know, you will show off to your friends. It will be something that will feel right and will, to you and divine masculines, and will bring you on cloud 9, right? Not necessarily have applause and approval from people around. And actually what you will see eventually, even if your model that you will come up with will not be something that your immediate surrounding will approve of, eventually when they see how you implement it in your life, how happy it makes you, how much you grow out of it, and also how much you can do for others around you, that will make a big difference. That will speak loads. You know, it's that time where actions speak louder than words, but like in a global perspective. You will not need to explain anything, but you'll see how different their comments, their views, their words would be. Okay, messages. We have one pentacle, just this new beginning in the physical that they want to have with DF when they're ready. So they're preparing for this new beginning, whatever that would be, right? Ace of Pentacles is not marriage, right? But it's something tangible. It could be a work project or like some creative project together, right? It could mean a friendship, but something that will, the Ace of Pentacles actually presumes that there is some sort of physical outcome from it. So take it how it resonates for your situation, right? A work project or a business project sounds like the most intuitive example, but maybe it's something else for you, right? Some sort of collaboration together. They want that, they're excited about that. I'm addicted to you and I know you from somewhere. This is the Six of Cups energy. Yeah, so they understand that this is well, let me rephrase that. They see this desire, this certain level obsession that they have for you, divine feminine, watching. At some point or at certain times they see it as obsession, right? Like this is the devil energy. Like this is like, ooh, that's dangerous, and it feels like, whoa, too much. Feels good, but also feels like there is some sort of dark magic here because of how strong this pull is. But at the same time, they also understand that, at other times, they understand that this is because this is such a deep, such an eternal connection between people that it's just that's why it's happening, right? That's why there is such a strong pull. That's why you feel connected with your twin at all times, or oftentimes when, you know, you could be very much apart from each other, not talking maybe for weeks or months, right? Or not physically around each other, but there's still this recognition, this synchronization, and this communication on the telepathic level, right? Like it can be, this is like the light and the shadow aspect of it, right? Of this magnetic entanglement, quantum entanglement between the twins. Okay, and at the bottom of the deck we had, I never imagined so much perfection. Yeah. So these things are still raising some fears for DMs, but as they move through these energies that we we're just discussing, and they get more settled into who they are, how great they are, and how much you can do together, that fear will be falling away of like, you know, is this gonna work? Am I gonna mess it up? Am I gonna be a good match? Right? It's gonna be less of a pedestal, more of like, okay, we can do great things together, right? Like more of an idea of this perfect complement to each other, which doesn't necessarily mean that we're the same or supposed to be the same. It just means that we are a match together for whatever each of us individually is supposed to do in this lifetime, and for what we're supposed to do together. Okay, I hope this was good for guys. I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I think the next time you're gonna see me, I'm gonna be coming to you from Vegas. I'll share a few words about my crystal deck and about my experience with some other divine feminines during this time. In the meantime, I love you all, and I'll be back with more readings very, very soon.